Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Happy Taurus season. We are here. We are already in Taurus season. So to celebrate it and to put like a bright new beginning to it, we're going to start this reading to dedicate this to ENHYPEN member Jay. So yes, there's something about his spirit chart and actually a lot of ENHYPEN members I noticed, at least from what I can see online, there's a lot of debates about the position or the sign that their moon could be in, because they happen to have their birth dates on days where the moon phases or the moon changes to another sign. So I think that when I read for Jay in the past, somehow I don't know if I mentioned that with the information that I had available, that he was a moon in Cancer, I believe. But now, thinking about it, because I came across another one that said that he could potentially have a moon in Leo, and now that I think about his energy, and I don't know much about him, but I remember him in the show, in the this survival show, and I think that he could potentially be a moon in Leo. I remember these edits, about him trying to actually like not be the comedy relief of the situations, him trying to actually look, I don't remember exactly the context, but I think that he just didn't want to embarrass himself in front of the camera, and I think that to be this self-conscious, this like to be very, very conscious of his own image or how it may appear, and actually to be funny without even trying to be, um it's very Moon in Leo, actually. And probably for him this could like be a sort of like, like him wanting to be like portraying this more serious image, and actually like turning out to be really funny, and actually that his body language and everything that he says, it's funny. He is a Taurus indeed. He is in the first degrees of Taurus, but he is a Taurus because for people that have their birthdays on April 20th, they often have this very like confusing era about, am I an Aries or am I a Taurus? And I met people that actually they considered themselves to be an Aries, like they felt more connected to the Aries energy than actually a Taurus. And usually, even though their sun is in Taurus, they could be like, the manifestation of both energies, having days where you actually see them, yes, being a bit more outgoing, a bit more energetic than the usual Toro. So I think that maybe since Jay also has a potential moon in fire, he could also be a bit of an Aries sometime, Aries energy. So yeah, so let's take this into consideration and let's start the reading for him. So he got Six of Pentacles, Five of Cups, the Ace of Pentacles, here shining very bright, the Star card. This is very Moon in Leo, also to get the Star card, and then the Tower in reversed. So, yes, I think that, definitely he does give me Moon in Leo vibes, because there's something about, there's a whole process of learning to love yourself, or to actually learning to actually love yourself as much as others love you. This is something that a moon in Leo has to learn to integrate in themselves, because usually moon in Leo people, they tend to be very popular. They tend to be like the popular guy at school, the popular girl. They tend to irradiate this aura, but at the same time they are not the Leo external expression, because they are not Leo sun, they are Leo moon. So sometimes for a Leo moon person, it takes a while for them to actually be like, okay, yes, I recognize my attributes, I recognize my value. So they are like somehow always looking for external validation. This is why they sometimes wonder if people really like them, especially if they are famous. For Moon in Leo, it's very important to achieve um, fame, to be on the spotlight. Somehow life always pushes them to be the center, and sometimes they go for it. They do it. They are amazing. They are very recognized. They have these special auras. We do have a lot of idols with Moon in Leo. um, but for them as a person, it takes a while. It's a long journey to self discovery, and to them really seeing themselves the way the fans see them. And that's here with the Six of Pentacles and the Five of Cups. In the case of Jay, I have this feeling that he does receive uh, an equal treatment, that is not like there's a sense of equality in the group, or but there's also this need for him to see what the others get. It seems like because here with the Five of Cups, it seems like there's a bit of disappointment. I don't know if he seems to be very pendant to see if he gets the same as the others, so I don't know where does this need to be so pendant of what the others get. I don't know why, what is the need behind this. But somehow I think he is, or he was, a bit disappointed at what he got. Probably he is very ambitious. There's something about him being really ambitious. So maybe this is why I don't think. Probably it's not about the members themselves. Probably he's looking at other groups, or looking at, like, comparing. There's this sense of comparing, like, oh, the others are getting this, and oh yes, we are getting this, but I think that the others are getting something else. So I'm like looking, I'm like realizing that, and somehow I'm disappointed because I want. So he's a bit competitive. Yes, I think that he wants the group and himself to do better, and somehow to get more recognition. And thank God we have the Ace of Pentacles in the middle. So definitely these 6 months are going to be very successful for him. I don't know if ENHYPEN is going to have a comeback. I hope so, because they have done really well. Last years, the prior years, they had grown so much, and I think that they will continue to grow a lot. He will definitely see the results. He will definitely see a growth in him, and in this, in like slowly learning to trust the process, because I feel that there's also something probably about Jay, that he is a bit like in a rush. Probably he wants like that instant recognition, or he craves to have that validation very soon. So this is not very Taurus like, actually, because Taurus are very patient. But in the case of Jay, I sense that there's this impatience, the opposite. There's a sense of impatience in him, like he wants the recognition now, or he wants to be appreciated now. For him it's important to be seen, for him it's important to be acknowledged. And I think that this is not just for him. I think that he also is thinking about the group, or is thinking about the members. He's like, oh, we should do better. We should. It's not about doing better. It's more about receiving better. So I don't know if maybe he's, but I see him like being very strategic in the sense of counting every little penny. There's something here about money, that I don't know if they are receiving something that it's fair. But I don't see a source of fairness, but he definitely is pendant on it, about getting the fair amount, like he's no fool. He's very strategic. He knows about money. He knows about, about finances. So I think that this also gives him a certain, like, he's more intelligent in that sense, because probably there are some members that don't see it, but in his case he's like very awake in that sense, he's very woke in that sense. He's like very like and this is Taurus actually, to be a sort of administrator. He's no fool, and this is not about spending, like, oh, I want to get rich, or I want this money to have like to buy this and that and that. No, this is more about my own value, and the value of my work, and how I work with others, and how we had worked so much last year, for example. So definitely he's a guy that you are not going to be able to confuse him with the numbers, because he knows definitely. Then we have the star. So definitely there could potentially this next six months actually, he could have potentially opportunities to be the center of attention. He is very popular actually, but I think that he's waiting for the chance. I don't know about his individual activities, if he has individual activities, but he's also thinking about that. He probably wants more individual activities, because he sees himself as a star. He wants to shine. Actually, this is his desire, to be um the face of the group, or to be like, and he probably is thinking like, okay, like, I had been patient. Actually no, but I tried to stay patient, but I want my own opportunity. Like, I want a gig, I want an activity, I want to show my abilities. I have them. He definitely does, because he has the Ace of Pentacles, so he has the potential to actually be very good at individual activities. And this is not to compare him to the other members, but I think that he's right about that, because he does have a charisma. He does know how to entertain people. He's effortlessly funny. We know this. I have mentioned this. So I think that he wants, he wants to break free a bit of, the routine. He wants to do something more expansive. He's a visionary in that sense, because I think that he wants to. There's something about the traditions, or it's not about tradition, it's more about, the processes that the entertainment goes through in order to approve, or the companies go through in order to approve if you're going to get your individual opportunity or not. Whether this is, I don't know, appearing on a TV show, or on a variety show, or being an MC. There's this process of selection. And I think that in this case, he cannot wait for these rules to be a bit more flexible, because actually he wants to do much more. He's very ambitious, and he definitely knows that he can do it. He knows that he can adapt himself to any kind of a script, or any kind of activity that you put him into. He will do great. He's not shy. This is something that I think that he's not a shy guy. He's not awkward. Actually, I see him very outgoing, like very, like his energy is always pushing, it's always pushing. But definitely, I sense a bit of restriction because we have the Tower in reverse. So I think that this probably this year, he's going to have his more opportunities, but at the same time, he's going to still feel the restrictions, because the Tower in reverse is like when you are waiting for that, like, for that moment, that groundbreaking moment for you, where you are like, wow, this is changing, and now we are moving to a new. And with the Tower here in reverse, it means that he will face restrictions, that probably things are not going to change for him. Probably he's like going to be feeling like, like the change that he had been waiting for. He wants people to be more open-minded. I don't know if he's surrounded by old business people, and I'm not, not saying old of age, but probably very traditional kind of, like very traditional mindset and stuff. And he is a bit of a daredevil in that sense, even though he's not a business person, but he could potentially be, actually, because he thinks that you need to be more, in order to differentiate yourself, you need to have people that also think outside the box. So somehow the people that do manage in ENHYPEN are a bit traditional when it comes to making decisions. So for him, he's not happy about it either. He's like, oh, you could use me and do so much with me, but you're not doing it. You are just leaving me here in the same role, stuck in the same position. Like, I want to show my potential. I want to expand. I can make you rich. There's something about him actually having more visions, or I mean, more ambitions than the people that are supposed to be. So in this sense, it's funny. It's a bit funny, but at the same time, it's a bit annoying. That he's really young, and he actually is like seeing the possibilities, and the others are not. And I don't think that the others are their members, like his team members. I think this is like very strong and structured company people. I'm here. I don't see actually his I don't see the other members. Actually, I see him, and him. This is why I think he's so very Moon in Leo, because he's very focused on himself. It's like he knows what he can do to improve himself, so somehow he feels a bit restricted. There's this sense of, oh, I want to do so much, and you're not letting me shine enough. And I think that, and also he has this something about him, that he's this sort of lucky charm for others. I don't know why, but I think that he's not going to let himself feel sad about this. He's just like, I think, honestly, seeing this from an outsider point of view, I think that probably all these setbacks, or all these delays, are actually in there to teach him that things take time, and that somehow he needs to learn to be more patient. This is what I'm saying. I'm sensing that, yes, because he's really young, and his energy is very outgoing. He's very passionate. He thinks that it's just a matter of, okay, I will wish to accomplish this, and I will make it. He's very spontaneous in this sense. And somehow he's surrounded by people that are all about the processes, and measuring the processes. And for them to make a bold move is actually that it takes them years, not years, but months of planning, a lot of planning, a lot of planning. So, but yes, I think that, this is something about Jay that I think that definitely people that do manage him, they do need to pay attention to Jay, because probably Jay is the kind of guy that, he, like I mentioned, he's very spontaneous, and he has a lot of energy. So when you have someone like this working for you, you do need to give them something to do, because otherwise they will get in trouble. And I'm not saying that he could like get in trouble, like on purpose, but I think that probably, because of all his excitement and all his energy wanting to come out, if you keep them like not like wanting them to stay there, and not do anything, he will explode eventually, because he has this desire to, he's very ambitious, so I think that in this case he does remind me a bit of BTSB. It very different kind of energies, but they do have the similarity that they are very ambitious. So these are guys that you cannot like put them on hold. You cannot be like, oh, okay, yes, no, because you just started in this industry, you need to be patient. It's like, no, come on, give him something to do, keep him entertained, because he's going to find a way to entertain himself all the way, and you are going to have to, be like, like going after him, and trying to take care of his image, because he's very spontaneous. So he could potentially, I don't know. I don't think it's about going and doing something that he shouldn't do. It's more about probably talking, probably he could say something that people could misinterpret, which happens a lot with idols, and get into trouble because of that. So definitely he's someone that you should keep busy, because he has a lot of energy, so, and potential as well. So yes, guys, this is all I have for today. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.